Hi, everyone. Hey, my name is Shawna Young. I'm CEO of Camelback Ventures. I'm so excited to be here with you today. In our final segment of 10 Years, 10 Voices, we have been cataloging and elevating the voices of our fellows who've really done incredible work over the last 10 years at Camelback Ventures. And as you know, we provide early capital to entrepreneurs who are innovating in education and education technology, as well as health tech and fintech. We know right now more than ever it is important for us to give early capital to entrepreneurs who are often underinvested. And one of our remarkable, incredible entrepreneurs is Alicia. How are you doing today, Alicia Williams?
I am so good, Shawna. Thank you for having me. I'm truly honored to be here and a part of this conversation.
I always have joy when I'm with you. I'm so excited about what you're building at SELAH, and you've already pivoted from your initial venture when you were a Camelback Fellow. We're going to hear about your journey today and where you're going to take SELAH in the future. And so I'm really excited because I know that you have anchored the work you do in rest and restoration for women in particular. And again, I want to share that at Camelback Ventures, we're focused on giving that early capital. We believe that there's 5 C's that our fellows really need to thrive in building their ventures. That includes capital, culture, capital coaching, connections, curriculum, and community. And today with you, Alicia, we're going to focus on building community.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you this first question. First, just tell our amazing community who you are, how you have gone into this venture of SELAH, and what were you doing before that as a Camelback Fellow?
Yeah. So my name is Alicia Williams. I'm the founder and CEO of SELAH. We are a women's hormonal intelligence app that uses women's cycle, stress, and sleep data to really curate what wellness experiences match for their body and their rhythm. And so before Camelback, and it's been a couple years, oh my goodness, my journey was shaped by a moment that I didn't expect. And that was really a breaking point for me, Shawna. I had sunsetted my previous company, which I got into Camelback for. And on paper, everything looked successful, right? But inside, I was running on empty. And I think it is a peculiar kind of exhaustion that many ambitious women, we feel, but I think that we rarely name. And so for the first time, I couldn't just push through. I couldn't just assume that this was a little tiredness. But what I began as I sat in my stillness was that it revealed something deeper. And for me, that was just this call to transformation. And so I took a leap of faith and a month-long sabbatical to Mexico City, highly recommend. And really that pause from like the noise, the pause from the pressure and expectations, I started to rediscover something that I had not felt in a long time. And that was really this like the sacred power of margin and pause in my life. And so I have reoriented and realigned just how I move in the world, but centering rest as my number one, second to number one outside of my faith, but really in how I move and interact in the world. And so I'm really excited to now be building SELAH. And I think for me, as I began to talk to more women at large, understanding our bodies, living in rhythm with how we feel, waking up feeling our best every day is something that I deeply just care about, and wellness. I'm excited for this conversation around community.
I love what you shared. And if we almost took it back to your experience as a 2023 Camelback Fellow, was there anything, can you share a little bit about your experience? What was eye-opening to you, maybe surprising? And what do you feel like it maybe prepared you for? And what else did you need support with after that experience? For those who are thinking about Camelback and the fellowship itself.
Yeah, I will say I've done a few programs, a few different accelerators. And the distinction for me, I think it even started in the interview process. Like it was the first interview that I felt, especially as a founder, right? That you really put founders first. And there was something that I didn't really appreciate until I got to Camelback was this idea of like this, like the psychological safety and this reminder that like, no, we are humans first. So We care about your sustainability before the strategy. We care about your well-being before you go off and build these great ventures. And I think that I appreciate most that, leadership and self-care wasn't seen as this luxury, but it really is like embedded in like the work that Camelback does. And so you all have led such a great example of that. And I think for us now having this experience with Camelback and going through the program, I value and look for programs that align to those values. Like, you care about me as a human before you care about me building whatever company that I'm building. And so I do appreciate that. And I think that Camelback was able to give me that experience that I didn't know that I needed, but so much, very, very much value.
I appreciate you sharing that. And I really appreciate, you and I were together in Houston only a few months ago, or maybe it was longer than a few months ago, just like seeing your own transformation and definitely that you are at peace with where you are now is inspirational. And I'd love for you to delve a little bit more into your storyline around why you're centering on the wellness piece in your journey and your venture. As we know, often you just shared that entrepreneurs are mainly focused on trying to develop the venture, trying to get to a certain milestone, and in that process may not be putting their own wellness first. But your venture in particular is focused on wellness and for women. And so is there anything you can share in terms of why you believe this is so important for founders and particularly your clients?
Yeah. Well, something happened when I turned 30, Shawna. I don't know what it is. Nobody warns me. And my body started to shift in ways that I didn't understand. And so what used to work stopped working. It felt harder to lose weight. It felt harder to know what foods to eat. My gut health was just really out of whack. And no one really had ever taught me that it was my hormones, right? And they impact everything from how we sleep to how we feel, our mood, our cycle. And so I think for me, understanding my body better and more intentionally came as a result of me like slowing down, came as a result of me wanting to listen to it, because we are so used to, especially right as founders of color, building things, and we are taught to exist in this world that doesn't value rest. And I just believe that rest is resistance. And so I think for founders of color, the journey isn't necessarily always about building the company. I think it's about also navigating the systems, the expectations, the pressures that weren't designed with us in mind anyway. So I think wellness becomes more than self-care. It really becomes an act of self-preservation. And so I center wellness, we center wellness at SELAH, to really reclaim the truth that our creativity and our clarity leads to our longevity, so that we can begin and build the companies that we wish to be 100 years from now. And so rest becomes resistance. And I think that stillness has become a strategy for me that has been pivotal in how we move and operate at SELAH.
I appreciate you sharing that. And as we delve more into community, which you automatically feel when you're in the Camelback family in any way, I appreciate you sharing what you noticed with Camelback and your fellowship, this focus on psychological safety. Can you share a little bit about your perspective on the importance of community, and particularly what you experienced at Camelback, but in general, the importance of community for people, especially women who are building ventures? And then what do you hope Camelback might provide in the future, or what do you hope SELAH will provide for women that you're serving through SELAH?
Yeah, beautiful question, Shawna. Camelback was one of the first places that I felt I could just be a founder and like fully human in the same breath. And there wasn't a need to shrink. There wasn't a need to perform or pretend. And I think that kind of safety is rare, and it changes you as a founder, as a woman, as a leader. And so I carry that forward in SELAH, and as we design our company and build really the most trusted wellness ecosystem for women, it has to be rooted in that, right? That I don't think that we have to choose between being ambitious and being well. I think our app, our retreats, our wellness experiences, they are built around the same idea that community and care are part of the hormonal health. They're a part of the rhythm. And I think Camelback did an amazing job modeling what it means to build both with empathy And I think, SELAH is my way of extending that gift to one day millions of women. And so I love the approach that you have taken recently, really like niching in on this wellness aspect. You've had several wellness programming, um, you know, with Angie and the team there. And I think that it really has been such a beautiful moment and reminder, like you're not just talking the talk, but you actually are investing in the health and the wellness of founders. And so I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. I have to give a shout out to our programs team for always anchoring and ensuring that we're providing wellness, not just stipends, but also just content and space for people to just be. I learned that myself as a leader and a founder. It's just like if I'm not well, if I don't put my own wellness in a place of priority, I can't lead anybody. And it's when you're, like you said, you're sort of like all the way out there on that ledge.
Yeah.
Think of that last little bit you're trying to get done, and your body says no. It's like we're not doing it. We are done. We're not doing any more.
We need
more last little bit. So,
yeah.
And now is a really challenging time. It's a time of disruption, and you just shared this too. Like these systems that we're seeing go away, that it somewhat gives us pause or makes us feel uneasy. We know that we're not built for our communities, and they were built to do exactly what they've been doing, which is not being inclusive or accessible. But it's still disruptive. And particularly founders who are building right now may not have a foundation already, and they're trying something new. What is your advice for founders who might be feeling a bit overwhelmed or under-resourced, unsure about the idea that they really want to continue to move on in this time of change, significant change?
Yeah, my biggest piece of advice, I have a few things I'd share, but I would say don't confuse momentum with movement. And sometimes slowing down is the most strategic thing that you can do. And in my experience, it was a leap of faith. Like, Lord, we're out here. And I was so afraid to pause. I was so terrified because I didn't know what was next. And I was clinching onto what I thought I had to go and build, right? Only to realize that like, this isn't aligned. This is not the thing I'm supposed to be building. And I have to just trust that this is not my best idea. This is not the best that I can do. And so when I was able to release that and fully surrender and really just allow myself to like slow down, to ask myself, is this the thing I'm supposed to go and build in the world? And when it's a no, your body, your spirit, intuition, it will let you know. And so in that release and that surrender, I really value it and just slowing down and pausing. And so giving yourself permission to pause long enough so that you can hear your own voice, God's voice again, and remembering that rest is not the opposite of ambition, but it is what allows ambition to last. And so that'd be a few pieces of advice. The last thing I would say is just ask for help. Like I am heavy on that. Hey, Shawna, texting you on the side, like, hey, so-and-so, like, I don't know. I know people that do know. And so we are not meant to build these visions alone. And so leaning into community, leaning into coaching, leaning into people that are maybe a few steps further along than you reminds me that my worth is not tied into my output, but it is also built in community. It is built in the people that are around us to help us carry the vision forward. And so that would be just a couple of nuggets that I have for the people.
I'm taking notes over here. I don't know if you see me. I'm like, wait a minute. I love rest is not the opposite of ambition.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah,
that is it right there. We put quotes around that one. Alicia Williams said, because often we are just in this moment, and it is not. I think it's an era. So if it's an era, that's a relay race. You cannot withstand it all your own. There's a lot of consolidation happening in the ecosystem. There's a lot of funders who are pooling full funds to like give less folk more money, and also organizations finally working together that actually can probably have a larger scale impact. So I really appreciate your nuggets. They're more than nuggets, they're really wisdoms, I'll call them, for founders who are building that. I often say that those who are building now, it's hard, yes, but you're also at an advantage of building now.
Yeah.
Meaning you have to be more creative, you have to be resourceful, you can use AI in effective ways, hopefully, and you can build with less. And so now take those same tenets as you grow, and hopefully it's going to help you have an even stronger venture moving forward. So I
Yeah,
really appreciate you sharing that.
absolutely.
Yeah. As we think about the future, right? So we've just sort of 10 years of Camelback. I came in 18 months ago, CEO. Aaron Walker, our founder, had a vision of what he knew as his own, as a social entrepreneur, was needed to support entrepreneurs like him who want to build and make the world a better place. So we're like 10 years in, 200 fellows. As incredible you are, Alicia, that we supported and given all this support and finances to, and you've taken it and ran with it. As you think about the next 10 years from now, for two things, for SELAH and for Camelback, what vision would you have and what would you like to share with us as you think about that?
Yeah, I love vision questions. I'm a visionary at heart. And 10 years from now, I see SELAH becoming the global standard for women's hormonal wellness and health. I see us building the most trusted ecosystem and platform where millions of women can finally understand what their bodies are trying to tell them. And so, through our adaptive rhythm engine, which is our AI powered personalized care tool, but it really is giving women a roadmap to prevent burnout, to balance their stress, and to live in sync with their bodies and feel better every single day, to show up for the people that they love and the work that they are building in the world. And so that is part of my vision for SELAH and for Camelback. Um, I hope that it continues to be a home for under-resourced founders, a place where brilliance is recognized early and where leaders are held, um, and where the next generation of world changers and companies are incubated, not just with capital, but with care. And so both SELAH and Camelback, I believe that, community helps build that. And it's one of the most powerful forms of wealth. We saw that at Guardian Summit, this year. And my hope is that 10 years from now, both of our ecosystems will help rewrite what it looks like to be well, to lead well, and to build well.
Thank you so much, Alicia. So, why don't you share a little bit about how people can contact you and find more about SELAH and what you're building?
Yes. So, if you are a woman looking to live in sync with your body, reclaim rest, I would love for you to join our wait list. We are an active community. We have incredible beta testers, but we'd love to invite you to our SELAH Insider, our circle. Next, we have some upcoming events and retreats. Our SELAH and Still. It's a deep rest retreat happening in January here in Houston at the luxurious St. Augustine Hotel. And so you can go to joinselah.com for that or follow us on TikTok at selah.travel. And finally, if your organization, needs support, we do offer corporate wellness workshops and retreat planning to help build this in your team. And so schedule a call with us. But thank you, Shawna. This has been an incredible conversation. I'm grateful to be a part of the Camelback community. It truly is a family, and I'm forever grateful of how you all poured into me and SELAH.
Thank you so much, Alicia. This has been an incredible conversation with you as always.
Of course.
It's always really good. So at Camelback Ventures, we are building the next vision for what it means to support incredible entrepreneurs like Alicia and how she builds at SELAH. It's been 10 years. We've had a lot of impact, and we can do more with your support. So we hope you'll continue to look at the work that we do, that you help us build together and help us help the next 1,000 entrepreneurs who have creative ideas. You can do that by joining our listserv, by joining our social media, by giving to Camelback, and also checking us out at camelback.org. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alicia.
Thanks, Shawna.